It's B.Coll, and we're back with People's Talk with B.Coll. Tonight on the show, we're going to have a very special guest that I introduced earlier if you weren't here. We're talking about toiletries for families. And I want to know, don't laugh, hold it. I really want to know if she was sitting on the toilet when she came up with this idea, like, and ran out of toilet paper, or what this organization is really about. So at this time, I introduce to you Tiffany Scales. Hi, Tiffany. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing.
Laughing at me. That's fine. Now, Tiffany is a very, very close friend of mine and colleague. I've been knowing Tiffany for years. Now, what I do, I did explain to everybody earlier how it started out, of course, with the surveys and things of that nature that you did take. What I want you to do is let them know, how was this idea birthed? Like, what inspired this idea for you to be the, you don't want to say owner, because I know how you are,
right,
be the inspiration behind the birth of this organization.
Okay.
We'll say that.
Well, I guess I could say your frat brother. I was hearing about him doing these volunteering and things with Noah Radler.
Okay, Noah Radler.
With him volunteering, yes. And then he walked 1,800 miles,
yes,
across the country,
all in California,
just to bring awareness to the fact that people are hungry and homeless.
Yes.
You know, and I actually I met you at the event to listen to his testimony, and it really moved me, because while he's telling us about how, he did this walk and he prepared himself and he changed his diet, he just transformed into, making himself ready for this adventure. I don't think he knew what was going to happen, and all I could think about after was it took him almost 6 months, if not longer, to get back into the realm of being in boxed at home,
yeah.
And it made me see things differently. And my perspective of homeless, as in was the home is where the heart is, then really it doesn't matter if I have walls enclosing me.
Okay.
Okay? And then the next week, or maybe 2 weeks after, I was able to go to church and listen to Seven do his first sermon.
Another
where he shared, exactly, and he shared some poetry during his sermon. And before, or in between the pieces, he said that one of his professors from Prairie View A&M told him that, as a class, share with them that it is your job to give. Mm-hmm. And what they do with it is between them and him. And I just feel like those were seeds planting within me.
Okay.
Over Thanksgiving break, during the dinner, my mother shared with me that her church had come together as a Bible study group and decided to go in and adopt families, mm-hmm, for Christmas, to get them clothes, maybe toys for their children and what have you. And my mom was like, last year there were some kids who wanted some video games and iPods, so let's see what they want this year. And she goes to get the list, and we're sitting here having Thanksgiving dinner, being thankful and really focusing on that one day you actually give gratitude. Mm-hmm. And I was covered in chills. This 16-year-old girl asked for soap for Christmas.
Wow.
Not a dress or shoes, but soap.
At 16.
At 16.
Most 16-year-olds want a car.
Exactly.
Mom, buy me a car.
Right. And then
16-year-old.
The rest of her list, she's saying how she needed bras and panties. And doing some research on it, Goodwill or establishments that sell clothing, they don't sell undergarments, okay, for hygiene purposes. So that went in with it. Another seed is planted. Here goes the watering. And I lost my best friend several months ago.
Yeah.
And it's just, before she passed, she told me that, she was going to go and save me a seat. And I feel like my duty is to make sure I keep my reservation.
Yeah.
And I've been having these dreams about her, and I never hear her voice. And November 30th, the night of November 30th, I heard her voice. And when I woke up, I was inspired to write. And when I went back to read what I had written, all I saw was toiletries for families. And basically, I just gone in and opened up with what I had recently experienced, having 6 women live with me. They didn't have a job. Well, I didn't have a job either, but I had an income.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was their mother. I mean, I had to worry about them eating, bathing, having toiletries in the bathroom. And it got to a point to where there was no toilet tissue in the bathroom, and there was no soap, and there was no shampoo, and it was just like, what am I going to do?
Okay, so at that point, how were you all? How was food being contributed to the house?
Food stamps. One girl had food stamps.
So, okay.
Right, and then another girl was selling blood. Selling her blood.
Wow.
To bring in tissue and soap to wash the dishes and detergent to wash the clothes.
So there was government assistance for the food,
Right.
but as
No,
far as the
nothing for
necessities that you
necessities.
needed.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so, in this blog that, I just type up some stuff and I never even bother looking at it. It's just, hey, if you want to read it, have some fun, And I'm like, maybe I can do something.
Okay.
So I came to the secret word. I love it here. This really, I think, the seed was planted, but it really just came to life here.
Okay.
And I'm talking to Neff, and I'm like, I'm going to do something. I'm just like, I'm so excited. And then.
And we're so used to you being excited. When every time you come, it's like she's excited. And we're going to tell you more about Tiffany's excitement right after this break.